Hey, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community. Lots to get to, so I'm going to talk really fast. No, I'm not even going to bother trying to do that. But anyway, alright, first link. It'll probably be a pile of links, unfortunately. Yeah, YouTube's going to apparently, they have some new beta channel pages in the works, and it's really going to take out all the personality, so we're all going to look the same. But it looks like it's all got the same stupid information on the page. They're just redesigning the pages. So, probably gonna suck. But anyway, but you can get one early. You can get an ugly channel page early. It's very exciting. Yuck. Okay, TJ Productions. Yeah, need I say more? The Amazing Atheist. He's now TJ Productions. That was a clever name. I really like him pre-introducing his videos on another channel, another video service. I don't think that'll last too long. But actually at that Blip TV place, there are a lot of people that are actually talented, which is sort of interesting. And there's some guy that does like robot puppets and shit, and what the hell is his name? Some kind of puzzly name, but whatever. Yeah, well, if I can find a link, I'll post it. He's pretty damn good. It's like that old Mystery Science Theater thing. What else? Oh, that's all you can say. Amazing Atheist, fuck him. Whatever. Who cares? Completely uninteresting. Fake Sagan. Yeah, another one. Where the hell is he going? So now he's complaining because the cops didn't beat up the flagget waivers at the, one of those donut places or whatever they're called, the teabaggy things. Yeah, cops weren't beating up the people singing "God Bless America." I mean, it's kind of a lame argument. I mean, we know the younger type, that protest, what, the average age had to be 50, all right? Obviously, protest, the younger the people, the more impatient they are, the more they end up, like, maybe cheating a little bit, and so the cops end up having a contrived excuse to stomp on them a bit. So, I don't even know if they were protesting at anything, you know what I mean? They were just protesting deficits, and so it's like they weren't at the deficit's house protesting the deficit. So, I don't think there were like police barricades and all that kind of stuff. There was just like a little minor crowd control-y things. So, but whatever. I just think it's kind of silly to point and say, how come they didn't beat up those protesters? I mean, I think we know that, it depends on where you're protesting and how aggressive you get and all that crap. And cops suck, but, he's basically comparing cops who, search people's cars to see if they brought anything from Mexico, like some Mexicans. The same thing as slave owners. I mean, he's actually making that comparison. It's really kind of silly. And he basically threatened cops. I mean, just basically said, I don't care if you're somebody, straps on a bomb and blows you all up. And yeah, I mean, I could appreciate the sentiment, but, really, I mean, even I will concede not all cops are horrible. I mean, some of them are just, they'll let corruption happen in front of them, but they aren't corrupt themselves. So, but whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be the one defending cops. I mean, it's really not my role to play. But he goes way over the reasonable edge. So, stupid videos. So, the good news, Karina, she did her weekly video. It's a good one. Had all that don't believe God, he's a big liar kind of stuff in it. I think that's what she was saying. Who pays that much attention? It did have some extra bonus. It just seemed like there was extra in the video. And it might have been the gypsy hat, but I don't know. I still think there's something else about the video that just made it extra, extra special. So anyway, it was pleasing, strangely pleasing to watch. Extra pleasing? Yeah, that's not strangely pleasing, doesn't sound right. Yeah, but speaking of the pleasing, that existential cat girl, who probably really hates me now because I, pooped on her video once. She did another video sort of complaining about being a pretty girl. Called it sexism. But I guess she feels like she's not taken seriously enough because she's a pretty girl. And I mean, look, if you have to have liabilities, I think everybody would kind of say, yeah, I want that liability. Yeah, you make me talented and interesting and pretty. Yeah, I think they all say, yeah, give me that. But whatever. I mean, everything's a burden. I find just, waking up a burden some days. Well, every day. But anyway, it's kind of ironic, I guess is what it is. It's kind of ironic. when the beautiful aren't perfectly content with circumstances. But anyway, so I guess we'll get the stick cam. I guess I don't know. I better do the Montagraph thing now because I don't know how long it'll take to get to it. So anyway, that stupid jerk Montagraph, right? The you know, IllumiNuti guy, you know, wears like combat makeup and plastic masks and cross dresses and shit, and provides his own laugh track. He was in Stickcam last night, and I ended up kicking him a couple of times. The first time probably was I was being the asshole, but the second time he was being the asshole, and he was arguing something really dumb. And so he's made a video, so I'll post a link to the stupid video. But it was really fucking stupid. You know, it's over this legal argument crap, which I really hate getting into, and then these assholes are telling me it's parody, everything's parody, and it's like they think everything's parody. Like somebody could stick a knife in their neck and, oh, you know, they're just parodying you. But anyway, so we get into this argument about whether, you know, if you sue somebody, whether they can sue you for legal fees. And they can only do that if your lawsuit is frivolous, and even then it's dicey. Because, you know, the concept is that if you made that the burden of suing, like every time somebody sued a corporation, let's say, for firing them, if they had to worry that the corporation could sue them back for legal fees, there's no fucking way anybody would ever sue a corporation, because, you know, a corporation could just hand the judge the $3 million legal fee bill, and you know, the poor guy who got fired, and now he owes $3 million, you know, just because he lost the lawsuit, not because he did anything wrong. I mean, he had a reasonable belief, and so all you have to do is have a reasonable belief that your lawsuit is valid, and there's no way the defendant can sue you for fees. And so he posts a case to a case where the guy is the plaintiff in the case. Plaintiffs can get legal fees, okay? If you're suing somebody, you can get legal fees. It's just so fucking stupid. And the case he points to is kind of a clear example of, I don't know, a pretty stupid college guy if he didn't put that in his if his lawyers didn't put it in his papers to start when he started the fucking case, you know, that he wanted to recover complete damages, not only for the firing but legal fees. They were pretty fucking dumb. And the fact that they have to have a second hearing, well, sometimes they do that automatically, they just have a second hearing to decide what the legal fees will be. But yes, plaintiffs get legal fees all the fucking time. Yeah, you win the lawsuit, you get to get legal fees. So you're just a fucking arrogant fucking prick, just like I told you you were. And that's why I kicked you out of the room, because you're fucking wrong. There's nothing wrong with kicking people out of a room when they're wrong. Alright, and you were wrong. No point in arguing with people who are just completely wrong. You don't know the law. You think you're a brilliant guy, and you're not. Look, you fucking believe the rich are trying to turn America into a socialist country. I mean, you know how fucking stupid that is? God damn. All right, so how much time do I got? I got to talk about the girls. So anyway, he made a whole video, and I'll post a link to it, and it's really kind of irritating because he says he believes I'm David Koresh. Well, I believe you're kind of a weird fucker. Okay, there, I believe that. It's just my opinion. Anyway, all right, so Paul's ego was in the room. Goat was in the room, never said goodbye though. It's like him though. Goat's kind of a cruel bastard. Cody even made a brief appearance. You know, I had to go off and get a hamburger or something, but he made a brief appearance. Did some gesturing, some hip stuff. You know, he's got all that style thing happening now. Didn't say much. Lots of women's in the room. It's a good night for the women's. No Juliet, you know, but you can't have everything. But Neurotic Kitty, and I'm not gonna remember all their name. Lily White was in there for a little while. The California chick, can't remember her name. You know, her real screen name. Really bad at that kind of stuff. There was a new girl, Shannon Potty. No, Dottie, Potty, Doty. That's it, Shannon Doty. And of course, Karina was there, which was nice. And I do have to mention there was a couple of, you know, underage, little 15-year-old girls in training. That's what I'll call them, girls in training. And yes, they kind of fucked the room for a couple of hours, but yeah, they were a little bit entertaining. But yeah, obviously, you had to kind of be careful about what everybody said, because you know how those 15-year-old girls are. They'll start conversations that we just can't complete. But anyway, they were whatever, cute, whatever the word is for that. They were cute. So anyway, but yes, you know, the girls saved the room because otherwise the conversation kind of sucked. Nothing about quantum theory really, and you know, a little bit of politics maybe. What the hell is what did we argue? I don't even think, I can't even remember. Oh yes, well somebody brought up there was another girl and I kicked her out of the room. Sorry about that, because she started defending the rich, you know, and how important the rich are to our lives, and I was like, oh, who can stand this conversation? So, only got 40 seconds left. I just want to mention, you know, that, what the hell's her name? Stephanie Strand, you know, on my channel page, that video. I've really worked hard to try to get up to 1,000 views. And it really pisses me off. I mean, this girl is quite brilliant. I mean, she's cute and she, you know, writes her own music and shit, and it's good. And it really pisses me off that people don't pay more attention. And what else? Charlie Zazzle was spying in the room for a while. He says he doesn't have enough internuts to be on Stickcam, but I don't believe him. I think it was just spying. So anyway, that's it. The end. Gonna have to click the button. Don't want to make this editable.